For the first time ever, both the Formula Regional Americas and the F4 US Championship came north of the border to the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park to be part of the Labor Day Sprints. The last time the F4 US Championship raced here was 7 years ago, when now IndyCar driver Kyle Kirkwood swept the weekend. The Mosport Karting Center sponsored the fantastic weekend for FR and F4, which is fitting since it is the very karting center where last year's champion Patrick Woods-Toth cut his teeth. This weekend, Woods-Toth could clinch the FR Championship in front of all of his friends and family. Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, historically known as Mosport, has hosted many Formula One events in the past, and this weekend, our Speed Tour family members, the Trans Am Series, joined us as well for their 30th visit to this fantastic facility. For most of the FR and F4 competitors, this was by far the largest crowds they have raced in front of.
Yeah, it's super fun. You know, we're talking about it amongst the team. I think this is the biggest crowd we've ever had, so it's sweet to have all these people here.
And race director Scott Goodyear was quick to point out to the drivers to have good, clean races for the estimated 40,000 plus race fans in attendance. Formula Regional Americas Championship, presented by Mosport Karting Center, was the first group to race on a sunny, late Friday afternoon. Championship points leader led the field of 10 to a standing start and took off to a lead, followed by Titus Sherlock. Jeb Bowling just able to get in front of Matriano Lim into turn one. All of the spectators and campers were still just arriving and setting up as these drivers piloted this very difficult and challenging circuit. But leading from lights out to checkers was the driver from Saint-Lazare, Quebec, Patrick Woods-Toth. Titus Sherlock would secure his 6th podium of the season with a 2nd place finish. Jet Bowling's 3rd place finish would mark his 5th podium of this season. Crosslink Kiwi swept the podium for race 1. Patrick Woods-Toth at your home track. Another race win, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, what an amazing feeling at home here with all my friends, family, fans, and of course, thank you to Orlando for the number 27 this year. I mean, it's been an amazing car. Had a great year with Crosslink Kiwi. You know, thank you to the team, my engineer Steven and my mechanic Glenn, and of course, thank you to Ron Fellows. We're here at his home track, and what a great way to finish our first day.
Saturday morning, and we woke up to a damp and slowly drying track. The FR-F4 staff had to go out and repaint the grids for the starts. The F4 US Championship would be the first on track for Mosport Karting Center Race 1 for the Formula 4 US Championship. Only 5 of the 6 new Ligier JS422s took the rolling start, with some drivers opting for slick hand-cooked tires and some opting for wets. Daniel Quimby on the pole kept the lead over P2 Nicholas Stati, but Quimby did a fantastic job of controlling a nearly out-of-control machine in harsh conditions as Stati was ready to pounce right behind him. Challenging driving conditions in a drying circuit made for a difficult race that was cut short as Barrett Wolf slid off at turn 10, slightly impacting the wall, causing a red flag that would end F4 Race 1. Daniel Quimby from Sydney, Australia, with Cruise America, MIR Raceline, and Fiji Airways takes the top step, followed by Nicholas Stati of Dalkeith, Australia, in the AGI Sport taking 2nd, and in 3rd, Connor Roberts from LaGrange, Georgia, with ApexSpeed.com and Entropy Sellers. All of the FR drivers and crew were watching the Nissan Sentra Cup on track right before them to see if conditions had improved. And yes, they had. The track was dry, conditions were good, and 40,000 spectators were ready to watch the Formula Regional Americas Race 2 presented by Mosport Karting Center. Former Mosport Karting Center champion and 2023 F4 US champion Patrick Woods-Toth could clinch the 2024 FR Championship with a win in Race 2. Woodstock starts on pole and takes turn 1 flawlessly, but he has Titus Sherlock close behind him. Let's ride on board with Patrick Woodstock to see if we can pick up any speed secrets. A lot of pressure on Patrick as only 2 other drivers have won back-to-back in F4 then FR. They are IndyCar driver Kyle Kirkwood and sports car driver Dakota Dickerson. Titus Sherlock does what he can to reach Patrick, and Jet Bowling trying to improve his position over Sherlock. But again, Patrick Woodstock doesn't put a wheel wrong and wins race 2 at CTMP, clinching the Formula Regional Americas 2024 championship at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park that his mentor, Ron Fellows, is a part owner.
Patrick Woodstock is now provisionally our FR champion. How's that feel?
What an amazing feeling, especially here at home with all my family, my friends, all the fans. What a better place.
Titus, you were getting them. How was your race?
It was okay. I mean, we started on slightly older tires, so I knew it was going to be tough. Just did the best I could and got P2 again, so can't be too upset, but wish I could have won.
Jet Bowling, race 2, another podium finish. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. I wish there was more battles, but you know, that's the way this track is. It was fast and try to get lap times, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Saturday evening and F4 race 2 would be a thrilling race, and you could hear the spectators cheering as we had a pass for the lead. All 6 Ligiers took the start, and what a great start it was. Quimby took the lead into turn 1, followed closely by Nicholas Stoddy and Connor Roberts. Nicholas Stoddy able to get a draft on the Andretti straight and bravely keeps his foot in it and goes around the outside at 8 to take the lead. Stoddy led for a few laps, but Quimby was able to make an ultra brave pass exiting turn 10. A few times, Connor Roberts in third had a look on both Quimby then Stoddy in the draft. Then Roberts able to make the pass for second in the draft on the Andretti straight. But by this time, Quimby had taken off and the fight was for the last step on the podium. Starting at the back was Alex Crosby, who methodically hit his marks and worked his way through to fight Stoddy for the last step on the podium. But Stoddy wouldn't make it easy. Finally, late in the race, he was able to make that late break into turn 10 with the overtake for the last step on the podium.
Alex, tell me about your drive today.
It was great to finally get on the podium after a tough race 1, fluid engine.
Hey Connor, tell me about your race today.
It was good. You know, we had a pretty good qualifying, which was going to be important. You know, starting third, it really helped propel me up. Daniel and Nicholas really fought it out the first few laps, and once Daniel kind of got by, Stoddy kind of fell into my hands, and so we battled it out for a few laps, and then Alex Crosby was catching me throughout the end of the race, and I had a little bit of defending to do at the end, but other than that, it was a good race from us.
Yeah, tough race. Nick was pretty fast at the start. I was trying to save my tyre a little bit because I needed to build some pressure into it, but after that, yeah, managed to build a gap after the pass, and yeah, it was a pretty decent race from there.
Alex Crosby from the back to finish third, Connor Roberts in second, and Daniel Quimby takes the top step in F4 race 2. Sunday morning, and it is near perfect weather for the F4 US Championship presented by Mosport Karting Center. Connor Roberts thinks he's got some setup changes to make himself competitive with Quimby in this race.
I got a couple of setup changes that I think that I want to try. Just some small things to maybe get that last little bit out of the car, and some tires.
Daniel Quimby gets off to another great start with Nicholas Stoddy, Alex Crosby, Connor Roberts, Barrett Wolf, and Lincoln Dave following. Barrett Wolf side by side with Connor Roberts in turn 2. About 5 laps in, Barrett Wolf has an issue at the exit of 1, but he was able to refire and get going. The next lap, Crosby goes too deep into 1, and Connor Roberts looks to pick up a spot. Connor Roberts looks to have the fastest car in the field, but does he have the pace to first catch Stoddy and then Quimby? Roberts getting a draft out of the Andretti straight, making a brave move on Nicholas Stoddy. Can he make it stick going into turn 8 side by side? Stoddy looks like he has the advantage, but somehow Roberts stays in it and gets around him.
Here's Roberts in the 46, Staddy right behind him. And then a little bigger gap back to Alex Crosby in that 4th position. There's Crosby, right on schedule. Staddy late on the brakes into turn number 8. The highest speed of these S's, they get gradually tighter as Staddy comes into turn 10. And it sounds like he missed a downshift. You can hear that engine lugging as he's trying to get the power down. And there goes Crosby, taking advantage of that mistake.
Lap after lap, Roberts is closing on the leader, Daniel Quimby. But Quimby is able to win his 3rd in a row. A clean sweep for Quimby for the weekend. Connor Roberts finishes 2nd for the weekend, but what is this? We've got Crosby making a pass on Nicholas Stoddy into turn 8. Crosby going a little bit deep. Nicholas Stoddy has seen this before and stays in it also. Crosby getting a little bit sideways there. Can Stoddy get by him? 2 corners left. Stoddy gets by him at turn 10. Now it's going to be a drag race to the checkered flag. It looks like Nicholas Stoddy is barely going to take the last step of the podium over Alex Crosby. But what a finish for our last F4 race here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Yeah, me and the team talked about it. We had old tyres. We knew Connor was going to be on some new tyres, so we knew he was going to be quick. We wanted to build that gap pretty quickly and, yeah, manage my tyres from there, and, yeah, pretty good race.
How many weekends? Connor Roberts, you were closing, just not enough time, huh?
Yeah, it was, I mean, great job to Daniel. He was fast all weekend. I just really didn't have the track position at the start of the race to really make the ground up, so I lost a little bit too much fighting with Nicholas and Alex. And so, yeah, we showed good pace in the final stages of the race and especially in the middle, but the gap was just too large to close.
There's your sweep of the weekend. That is Daniel Quimby.
Formula Regional America's race 3 in the last race of the weekend, and boy, do we have a great race for you. FR Race 3 at Patrick Woods Toth leads the field to the start. Titus Sherlock is determined to take the lead in this race and gets off to a great start, getting up and even with Woods Toth into turn 1. Matriano Lim moving up a few places. Sherlock then closes the gap on Woods Toth, and there it's contact. Toth doing a great job controlling that car. Sherlock has the lead into 2, but has lost what looks like air pressure from a possible puncture from the contact as he tries desperately to control the car. This causes an accordion effect. Hayden Bowlesby looks to take the lead. Nicole Haverda tries to avoid Sherlock. She is hit from behind by Jet Bowling, leaving her in the worst position, hoping everyone avoids her. Anthony Audiello tries to avoid the contact, gets off track to avoid Haverda, but ends up into the wall, deploying safety crews and the double yellow. And ladies and gentlemen, that's just the first half lap of the first lap. Clearly the contact with Woods Toth caused a puncture in Sherlock's left rear. Now Sherlock from the lead has to limp the car to pit lane where the Crosslink Kiwi team will work to put him back out. Hayden Bowlesby had the lead for a second, but had to lift to avoid Sherlock, and Woods Toth goes through to the lead, and Sherlock into the pits for a tire change. All drivers are okay as Sherlock tries to get out on the lead lap in front of this ambulance, and Nicole Haverda has refired and looks like everything is working on her car, so she's going to try to work her way around and catch up to the field. Restart, and it's Woods Toth, Bowlesby, Bowling, and Matriano Lim. Woods Toth leads the field to the start and drops a wheel, creating a dust cloud, but wisely cleans his tire into turn 1. Sherlock, being impatient, hits Rico Schlauman from behind, breaking his front wing as Haverda goes past. Now Titus Sherlock to limp it once again all the way around to fix his front wing. Woods Toth absolutely took off, but the race for number 2 would heat up. Hayden Bowlesby, looking for his best finish in FR, keeps bowling behind him lap after lap. After taking the white flag, Bowling knows this is his last chance. Bowlesby gets loose in the 2, making him lose speed and traction into turn 3, and both drivers desperate to hang on around this fast turn 3 side by side, wheel to wheel. It looks like Bowling is going to have the advantage, and Bowlesby backs out just a little bit, Bowling taking it into 5. Woods Toth with the clean sweep, winning all 3 races and clinching a championship. Bowling got second, and Bowlesby had a strong 3rd place finish. Landon Matriano Lim with the 4th place, and James Lawley from Halifax, Canada comes in 5th with a great battle.
Champion yesterday and now a clean sweep today. How's that feel?
Yeah, what an amazing feeling. You know, CTMP is like a second home for me. And yeah, to get a clean sweep on the weekend, fastest in practice, qualifying, and then winning all 3 races, we can't ask for better than that.
So, Jet, where did you get him? You guys were the race to watch.
Yeah, it was turn 3. I was just way faster than him all race there, just struggled to pass, and I think I kind of showed the nose a little bit, and he made a mistake, and I just kind of went inside of 3, outside of 5, so that was awesome.
Yeah, caught a slide in turn 3, and Jet was able to get by me there, so, you know, it is what it is. I'll take 3rd considering I didn't get the first 2 practices of the weekend, so it seems like a good accomplishment to me.
Was it fun? It looked like you had the fun race out there.
Yeah, I had a good race. The start was great. Jumped from 4th to 3rd, and then the 2 leaders had a little bit of a battle, and I think the other guy got damaged, and so I was able to slip into 2nd, and then I just had to maintain it from there, and made some mistake in the last lap.
So Ligier is the hat that they have right now. The very important part of the race car is the chassis.